You're good.
Okay.
Can you
Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it. This testimony is evolving daily, really. I even have a testimony leading up through this whole week until today of things that God is doing in our life. But so we love Grace Point. Thank you to my family that Eric's mentioned the Lawsons here that are in the road. Thank you all for coming. My Aunt Brenda, my mom, my dad, my wife, and my daughter here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start from the beginning. I'm going to try to make this to the point as to leave Athol his due time to share his message with us. But there's been some curiosity, I think, as to Lawson since we've come back to the Grace Point family here. We were regulars here about 5 years ago before we moved over to the Kansas side, and now we recently started coming back here, so we really appreciate you all. I'm a little nervous, so I might have to double hold this mic so my hand stops shaking. But I'm just going to start from. I was born with retina cancer. That was discovered when I was 6 months old. I had retina cancer in both eyes. My left eye had to be removed, and I received radiation and chemotherapy as a young baby. I was told that I would never be able to have children because of the chemotherapy treatments that I received. Then when I was 12 years old, it was discovered that I had a tumor because of the radiation treatments I received when I was a baby. It caused a tumor in my cheekbone that, at the size of a 12-year-old's fist. So I had a tumor in my head about the size of your fist as a 12-year-old. And they did a biopsy on that, and it was malignant. So they installed a portacath in me, preparing me for the chemotherapy treatments and everything, and finally had the 19-hour surgery up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to remove the tumor. And afterwards, they biopsied the entire tumor. We had churches across the country praying for me at this point. They couldn't find any malignancy in that tumor after it was removed. I had to have another surgery to remove that portacath because it was not needed anymore, so I didn't need chemotherapy treatments anymore. That was a miracle, obviously, and there was no return of that cancer. It never came back, so it was benign. If anybody's needing healing here today, I would encourage you to be active in your healing. I think what happened when I was 12, I had so many people that were praying for me that I kind of put it on cruise control throughout my teens and even my 20s. So I kind of put things on cruise control. Yes, I was a Christian. Yes, I've been born again, but I wasn't really living God's will for my life. Then I met my wonderful, beautiful wife, Nicole, and we got married, and lo and behold, we also ended up having our beautiful daughter, Haven, that I was not supposed to be able to have. So the Lord blessed us with an awesome child. She has a heart of gold. I'm not just being a biased dad. She's an amazing, amazing kid. It's taught me a lot. I knew this was going to be a hard part, is keeping my emotions in check. And another reason, because the Spirit's really moved here today. I don't know if you all felt that, but the Spirit's here today. So, my daughter was diagnosed with the same retina cancer that I had. When I was a baby, she was also diagnosed with that same exact retina cancer in both eyes. Now, praise the Lord, technology has advanced where that she was able to save both of her eyes, and the Lord has healed her of her retina cancer, as she's been cancer-free for going on about 5 years now. The Lord has obviously performed some healings in our life, and you know, when you have medical problems with your child, it's a lot different than when you're going through them yourself. So unfortunately, you know, in her early years when she was a baby and we were, you know, going through this, and me not really fully surrendering all yet to the Lord, I turned to distractions. Drinking found its place in my life, and which helped further keep that button on cruise control and not fulfilling God's will in my life. Beginning of this year, I was diagnosed with bladder cancer. And immediately, it was different this time. I'd had medical issues my whole life. But now, my mom might be upset at this because I don't even know if she knows this part of this yet, but I was smoking cigarettes. She knows that. I don't know if she's aware of that, and if anybody else doesn't know this and you're struggling with smoking or stopping smoking, know that the #1 cause of bladder cancer is smoking cigarettes. I've been doing that. I had never even heard of that. You think lung cancer, you think throat cancer, did not know bladder cancer. So the Lord was revealing to me that even though I had been forgiven, even though I was a child of God, there's still consequences for sin. And I had not treated my body as a temple of God because I think that I had a sense of invincibility because all these medical things had happened to me and I'm still standing, and I felt like it was me who had the strength. And I was depending on me to do this, and I'm strong enough where I can overcome it. If I get cancer again, I got this. All I did was receive his healing. There's nothing I attained on my own. I've lived my life the past 7 months by one verse. Now, I've dealt in his word daily, and he's revealed truths to me that, to be honest, embarrassed me that I didn't even realize to this point, being a Christian my whole life. He's revealing things to me that I'm like, wow, I did not even know that before, and I can't believe I didn't know that before. But I'm thankful for those little things that are being revealed to me. That verse that I've been living my life by is 1 Thessalonians 5:16 through 18. Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Lord. When we first started coming back here, I remember losing control of my emotions a little bit, talking to Apple right back there, because I was telling him that I know it sounds weird, but I'm grateful for this bladder cancer. I'm grateful because God has called me back to him, and I've answered his call. And through discipline, through the Lord teaching me discipline within him and following these practical things that he's laid out for us in his word, it's through that I received my miracle. That a little over a week ago, I had my first follow-up checkup after 6 rounds of a cancer treatment, and I'm free from all bladder cancer. So the day of my checkup, I was of course a little nervous. I've been, having faith in the Lord, trusting in the Lord, but when it comes to D-Day, when that checkup comes, you're going to struggle with a little anxiety, and I was doing that. But I want to thank my aunt for sending me a text that morning that says, "You get in there and show them that big, beautiful bladder of yours." So I went in and I did just that. But I just I want to encourage you all to pray continually, rejoice in all things, give thanks in all circumstances. I know that sounds difficult, and of course it's hard to do, but I just really feel blessed, and I'm extremely grateful that God, He's disciplined me, but that He's softened my heart to be able to receive it. To realize that it's by these simple things on a daily, by being in His Word. Your miracle doesn't have to be a big bright flash in the sky and something, you know. I feel like I have received the Lord's healing and I'm free from bladder cancer because I stopped smoking, because I changed my diet, because I lost 40 pounds, because I stopped drinking. My wife stopped smoking with me. And we've made a lot of changes. Real quick, I'm going to get to this last week. Even after I received healing for bladder cancer, here the enemy comes and I start stressing about finances because I'm paying attention now, because I'm not distracted with alcoholism and I'm taking care of things how they should be taken. Now, you know, I feel more responsibility. So I came into last Sunday's service where, you know, the one before Athel returned from his sabbatical. And Brett was, you know, I asked Brett for his notes on that because I feel like the Lord's really been speaking to me through some sermons here. So I went up, asked Brett for some notes, and brought Nicole up there, and we prayed over there for our finances. That Sunday, Nicole's going to be embarrassed that I'm sharing this right now, but we came into that Sunday morning, and I gave Haven $20 to put in offering, and after our bills were paid, that left us with $3.76 until the next payday. We went over, prayed with Brett. He specifically prayed that the Lord would answer our needs this week. So I sold my truck. I got the title in the mail. I got my refund check in the mail that week. I was going to have to go to the dentist the morning that I was supposed to go and have x-rays. I woke up, the pain was all gone, my swelling in my tooth was all gone. And Matt invited me to breakfast on Friday, and he paid for breakfast. And so I was like, man, Lord, you're being immediate in all these things, and I'm being faithful to you in the little things, and I feel like God is returning that. So I just wanted to share this testimony and acknowledge and give God the glory, acknowledge Him before me, and just thank you, Grace Point community, for accepting our family. And thank the pastors after good sermons. And I encourage you guys, you get a whole other perspective. If you get a sermon that speaks to you, ask for the pastor's notes, because when I'm looking through notes, I'm like, man, they put a lot of work into these messages they share with us. And I think we should thank them for shepherding us. And a lot goes into this. So I appreciate you all's leadership and leading us. So I'm going to hand it over to Pastor on that note. Thank you all.